Hello everyone, this is Sharon with Entelechy Visions, and this is an energy update for the week of July 22nd through the 28th. So I just want to take a moment before we begin and just take a giant deep breath with me and center here. Inhale through the nose and let anything go that you are holding out the mouth. We've had quite a month so far, and we are nearing the end of this wildly transformative July that we've been through. However, we have completed eclipse season, but we are still integrating. We had the second of the two eclipses last Tuesday with the full moon lunar eclipse. And that brought in a lot of shift, a lot of culmination, but we are integrating everything that we learned over the course of this entire month. So you may find that you are recalibrating. Maybe you aren't quite feeling up to yourself, that your physical body is actually trying to regain balance, as is your emotions and your energy level as well. Because we went through quite a bit, so it's affecting us on all different levels of our being. So you might find that your physical and your emotional well-being is kind of coming in waves as you integrate. Maybe your mood is up and down. Maybe your sleep patterns are fine one day and a little off the next. And maybe even your energy level is coming in waves as well. That you have a lot of physical energy and feel kind of on fire and wired in one moment, and then feeling very lazy, lethargic, and just like you're crashing. Just listen to that and be very mindful of what's occurring for you, because that's a sign of the integration taking place. That there's nothing wrong with you. We are in these transformative times. Definitely get checked out if symptoms become chronic. Consult a healthcare professional. But often it is leading towards the case that we are going through these various symptoms based on the energies that are coming in, the shifts we're all experiencing, and how that's affecting us on multiple levels. So following the eclipse, so much was unearthed for us. So we are still in this emotional processing. And I do want to begin that with the fact that we are entering Leo season this Monday. So Cancer season was all about the water, all about the emotions. So that's why everything has been very heavy, because it was coupled with the eclipses. So with emotional season, as it always is in July, we had these eclipses. So the emotions were really getting looked at. They were really going through much. And they still are. We're kind of in this almost a hangover from the eclipses and all of that emotion we were experiencing. However, Leo season is more fiery. It's a fiery sign. It's a forward-moving sign. And it's an expansive sign as well. So you'll find that even the shift of that sign occurs and causes some lightness or some levity into our lives, because we've been through a lot of heavy work, a lot of heavy emotions. So this will be a breath of fresh air as we move into Leo season. It'll get a little bit lighter, and even more lighter as we enter into August. So just to backtrack a little on what the eclipses, the past eclipse was especially doing for us, that a lot of insecurities may have been dredged up, especially around our path, our own sense of self-worth, our personalities, our finances, how we are interacting with others, kind of testing our will and also our resources. And coupling this with the Mercury in retrograde, which has been occurring, that does thankfully complete at the end of this month. Mercury, with the whole tests of communication, making things a little wonky and vague, was adding to that. So Mercury with eclipses was making it a little bit more challenging to actually communicate the emotions that we were experiencing. So maybe we had all of this emotion welling up in us, and it was very challenging to find the words to express it to others, or even to clarify it for ourselves of what was occurring, what is occurring. So there is a lot happening right now also with creating structure in our lives, that our foundations are being looked at, that it's coupling with this heavy energy, this heavy emotional processing, but also a very structured and work-based, detail-oriented, and groundwork kind of flavor to things right now. So it may feel ultra kind of sticking your head to the grindstone at the moment while all these emotions are taking place. But know this lightness is coming. We're just looking at the foundations of our lives. That all that we have been throughout this entire eclipse season was testing things and really unearthing things that maybe we have been grappling with for a really long time. I noticed many themes of some really deep, deep roots for people were getting addressed and pulled up for them to look at, to resolve, to heal, and face it head on. And this has to do with our foundations. This has to do with maybe that piece, that subconscious element that we might have known is there, but we just ignore it, or we kind of put it on the back burner, hoping that maybe we'll shift it sometime, or that we'll evolve out of it at some place. But this eclipse season was shining a light on those very aspects and inviting us to get right down into the root, pull it up from the roots, look at it, see what it was made of, and accept it, to be okay with it, and to transform it at the same time. So this has not been a light or easy ride, because when you really look at root core issues, it can be very raw. It can be very vulnerable, and it can be very testing on our own abilities and strengths to face that and to really look at that, especially if it involved other people. So the conversations you may have had, the words that you had to convey, the aspects of yourself you had to stand up for, that a lot was really being reflected upon. So just to be aware of what you have been through, even if it is subtle or it seems subtle, there was so much occurring in many layers beneath the surface that had their purpose. Because ultimately, this eclipse season was showing us what was holding us back, what was no longer working, and that we're ready to move more into a greater sense of mastery. So we had to look at all of that, as uncomfortable and unfun as it was. My words aren't coming with Mercury as well. So we are going to be entering into a month that is going to be so much lighter, that will follow this heavy midsummer point that we've all been through. And we will be standing more in our truth, standing more into a reclamation of a new form of what we have become now. Because following the last update, we are completing that metamorphosis stage with this next month of rising into a new sense of self, rebirthing the self, and stepping into a new form with the aspects of who we have become in that transformation. So these are amazing, amazing times, and I know you probably feel the intensity of them. And we are preparing for quite a profound year ahead, which is why the prep has been so grueling in 2019, because we're being asked to step up to these new paths, these new directions and new ways of being, to offer more service to the world, to be these conduits of the gifts that we contain, to offer that more from our hearts with clarity, with truth, and without holding back from any aspect of who we are and what we came to be here. So allow yourself some gentleness. We are still in a lot of kind of hesitant energy at the moment because we are integrating. So there is always time for forward movement, and that time is not quite right now. So allow yourself that time to heal, to really continue to reflect on what you just went through, and to integrate it more so that you feel more of yourself once that forward movement starts to come back again, that you can better present yourself with all that you have healed, reshaped, and transformed over the course of July. So I hope you have a wonderful week ahead, that you go very gently and easy on yourself, that you gift yourself with all that you need in healthy ways to have healthy boundaries, healthy self-care, and to just be gentle and loving with yourself, and catch yourself if you veer away from that gentle self-love. So we still have our Eclipse special package available until the 31st of this month, which is 4 sessions, 4 90-minute sessions, in person or remotely. And you get the 4th session absolutely free. You can learn more about that package on our website, entelechivisions.com, under the booking tab. So hang in there. You are beautiful, and all is completely well. Everything is evolving the way that it needs to, in perfect timing, as it should. So have a wonderful day, and I thank you for listening.